Hello, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Night, afternoon, depending on where you are. Okay, I'll wait 1 more minute and then we start. Rohit, are you presenting or is Bart presenting?
I think it'll be Bart, and he should be
Okay.
joined. Let me check.
Yeah.
Just to give you a quick heads up warning, I'm getting a new power meter this morning and it's overlapping this meeting. So I need to leave for 2 or 3 minutes during the meeting, probably. I hope it's not going to be while I present, but it might be. But yeah. Just a
Okay.
quick
Do you?
warning.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. But maybe should we start with you, Jan, or Karsten? Actually, we could.
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
That's
Yeah.
better for you.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do so then. Okay, I'll start. So welcome everyone to this third ASDF interim meeting. So this meeting is recorded as usual. As I ask if someone can take notes during the meeting. Any volunteer?
I can help here.
Thank you so much, Ari. Okay, let's get going. So this is the agenda for today. It is updated until up to half an hour ago. So I'll quickly go. Junga? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's updated up to 30 minutes ago. And yeah, this is the program, and these are also the new the drafts that you see in the agenda are also the working group updates that we got up to this interim meeting. And yeah, so let me quickly go through the administrativia. So note well, so this is a reminder of IETF policies. Yeah, please go through it, and there are additional details also in the QR code. Nothing new here, and this is a reminder of the code of conduct guidelines. Yeah, I give you 10 seconds to go through them, and then we can start the meeting. So we said that we go with Jan's presentation first. Right. Jan, how much time do you need? Oh yeah, Ari, sorry.
Yeah, maybe before we get moving with the agenda, maybe we should pop some champagne for our first RFC.
Right.
So the base specification, we're done.
Yeah, congratulations,
thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So, looking forward to maybe next time we have a chance to meet face to face to actually get some proper celebrations, perhaps at the Vienna IETF. But yeah, thanks a lot for everyone who has contributed on that.
Thank you, Ari. Right. it's still early morning, and yeah, I forget things. Jan, I'm gonna give you control. And how much time do you need?
Thanks. Hopefully only about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe 10 to 12. Yeah.
Okay, I give you
Should be a
maybe
short
15.
update.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this is going to be a short update on the instance information and SDF mapping draft, which is now called SDF supplements, as we can also see on this slide here. So maybe as a quick recap on the mapping files or supplements. So this is actually a document that we've been working on for a couple of years now. And it has been recently adopted by the working group in December 2025 after lying dormant for a while. And yeah, the main purpose of the draft is to specify documents that can be used to augment a target SDF model with a series of patches or amendments. And as we can see on the right-hand side, this information can also be ecosystem specific. So in this case, we have two amendments that are being applied that add IPSO IDs to the SDF objects that we can see in the SDF model on the left-hand side. And the main changes we made or applied to the draft are first of all, of course, the name. So it's we now consistently speak of supplements to avoid the term mapping file. We also reworked the main map quality and now call it amend to contain a series of amendments, which are now modeled as an array of objects, which enable deterministic processing in contrast to the object-based approach we had earlier. And as we can see, this is now a series or an array of objects where the key still specifies the location where the patch is going to be applied via adjacent pointer. And so this is main structural change here, or the main structural change. We also added, in the meantime, an algorithm for tracing the provenance of augmented models. So in the resulting SDF model, we can now include an original or a pointer to the original SDF model and a log of the sequence of augmentations, so to speak. And this allows you to reproduce the resulting SDF model after applying the amendments that are contained in the mapping files that have been used. As an outlook, we need to take another look at the JSON merge patch algorithm that is now used as a default throughout supplements. So we need to tackle or we revisit the question whether JSON merge patch is sufficient as a mainly structural reference, or if we need something more powerful to also enable semantic references. We should also probably specify some kind of collection or container for using or for combining a model with a number of supplements. And then, last but not least, we should also revisit some of the questions that have been raised by Carsten, for example, during his Thing-to-Thing research group presentation last year regarding model evolution. And one question that came to my mind was whether we can maybe also indicate the backwards compatibility of individual patches within supplements. So there's some more thought that we need to put in here, but I think with this recent revision, we now have a basis to continue the work here on this draft. Then regarding the instance information draft, we also published a new revision which only contains a couple of minor updates. So we also joined the celebration there with the SDF base reference to the RFC now. We fixed the example and also updated the terminology. And my doorbell is ringing now, which is unfortunate. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I quickly take over. So the main thing is changing the terminology and getting rid of the word mapping, because that is being used in too many places here. And yeah, there are a few pointers to work that has to be done but hasn't been done yet. So that would be my summary. And I think supplement is actually a great word. Amend is maybe not that good because it might be sounding like fixing a bug. But yeah, that's the usual word choice problem.
Sorry, I'm back now.
That went quick.
Oh, yeah. Have you continued in the meantime, or should I?
I just summarized this at the high level, but I'm not seeing anyone springing up for comments, so I think we are done.
Okay.
Oh, Ari.
Maybe a quick question. So was this update already on the instance information, or are you still in the mapping?
This is now regarding the instance information draft.
Okay,
exactly.
perfect. Then
So,
I can correct the notes. Thanks.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe to finish up pretty quick. So we have now these application scenarios, which we have to deal with a bit more, which we introduced last time. We need to flesh them out a bit more, and yeah, we need to re-engage with Etri in the discussion, and also with the litmus test. So there haven't been that many updates here, and yeah, but we will continue working on that, and hopefully there will be more updates on this draft during the next interim. And yeah, thank you very much.
Great. Thanks, Jan. Maybe a quick question on the mapping document, because I'm actually now with the base RFC done. I was planning to update the tools for the model translation, and there one of the tools is using this what we used to call mapping functionality. Is the draft so stable now that it would be worth implementing, or are you still considering some parts that maybe I should be watching carefully before implementing? You're muted.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so I think we kind of stabilized now on the solution, but I think there might be, as I mentioned, we might need to revisit whether, yeah, we want to have a different patch mechanism, or whether we want to allow for, yeah, adding more parameters, so to speak, to the mechanism. So I think we are not 100% done yet, but I think we're getting there. It's stabilizing.
So my summary would be that we have fixed the one thing that was looming, that the objects don't give us a defined sequence in which these patches are applied. So we have fixed that, and I think that was the one thing that needed to be fixed. Now what Jan just said is probably easily added as an extension. So the basic functionality, I believe, should be stable at this point in time.
Perfect, thanks. Then I'll take a look at implementing this.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Do you also have other slides, or?
No, that's it actually.
Okay, so that's it. Okay, but then I give I upload NIPSI slides, and I guess Bart is ready.
Hello.
Hello, Bart. Good morning. I give
Good morning, Lorenzo. Good morning, everyone. All right, this is the, so we're going to do the NIPSI and the SDF protocol mapping update. So I'll hand over to Rohit in a minute. NIPSI, we released, sorry, draft 17 yesterday. We had 6 issues that we had marked as closed in the previous interim. They're now fully closed on GitHub. And then we closed the last 5 issues in draft 17. So there's no more open issues. So so we successfully kind of dealt with all the open issues. We updated, so we reviewed in detail kind of all the trigger APIs, and there's some updates to them because in draft 16 we had the first release of these trigger APIs. So these were added, if you remember, based on kind of Michael's feedback on, you know, how events could, you know, kind of trigger actions. So we updated, did some updates to the YAML, the CDL, and the text. So there's some changes there. From our previous discussion, we're still missing an IANA registry on protocol info. And then we also added an IANA registry on kind of the pub sub CBOR interface. And then we did a full kind of final review of all of the text and did some minor updates to it. So the issues that were completed, should the protocol mapping, so section 4.4, so this was the protocol mapping moved to SDF protocol mapping. So this became protocol info, so it didn't move. Problem types have also been finalized. There's some issues in connection management details that are actually related to that protocol info that was closed. We updated the IANA consideration, and the application gateway function bridging turned into the trigger APIs. So that's also, those are the last issues that are done. NIPSI triggers, a quick recap and also a view on what has actually changed between 16 and 17. So the NIPSI triggers, they allow an application to install a trigger on the NIPSI gateway. A trigger used to, or in draft 16, you could put a trigger on an action or an event, and then that would trigger an action on another device. Device 1 and device 2 could also be a group of devices. So it could be, you know, you press a switch and the light bulb goes on, or multiple switches turn one light bulb on, or one switch turns multiple light bulbs on. So all of that is possible. We initially specified it as an action or an event can be the trigger, but then we kind of realized it's not very useful for a trigger to be set on an action, because the action will be performed by the app anyway. So then, so then we said, okay, a trigger should really always be on an event, and it should always trigger an action. And then we also looked at one of the open actions from draft 16 on this was, what if a trigger gets executed? How does the application actually know that that happened? So do we need another event type on the PubSub interface for trigger execution? This was kind of a question that was, you know, if a trigger would be able to be set on an action or an event, then yeah, we would have needed something new. But if it's only in an event, we already have event reporting available in the PubSub interface, so we don't really need anything new there. So that kind of also solves that issue. So draft 17 triggers can only be installed on events. Now, I think the other thing about triggers, this is pretty much the only part of the spec that hasn't been actually implemented. So we did do a very thorough review of how we would implement this, but there's no, at this point, no working implementation, and there probably won't be one by the time we go into last call. Okay, next steps. Well, I think we're ready for for all of you to do a final review before we complete our last call. I would say, I mean, the feedback of this group has been, I would say, unmistakably super useful for this draft. We wouldn't have been here without you. So thank you very much, and I would say please give it another read through before it goes last call. Any questions or remarks?
Yeah, thanks. Sounds really good. Looking forward to give it a read. One quick issue that for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be super busy. So unfortunately, won't be able to read exactly now, but I hope to get this, let's say, mid-March. I know it's going to be after the last calls finish, but unfortunately won't be able to do it in the coming weeks.
All right, I don't know how much of a problem that is to add changes after the last call, but we'll, if needed. But yeah, I hope at least a few folks can read through it.
So what is the status right now? I'm confused. I thought we had a last call ongoing at the moment.
Correct, yes.
So when does that finish?
I think it's 4th of March or something in 3 weeks. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's right after the internet draft deadline. So that means that I won't have too much time looking at the document either.
So yeah.
I'm actually wondering, is it a problem, Bart, if we just move it slightly more, or?
Well, for me, it's not a problem, but obviously, I think from a process, if it's okay from a process perspective, I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess the short version is if everyone's okay with it and we think it makes sense, then we should just do it. Like extend. I mean, we can have the last call run, and then we don't have to pull the trigger for publication. Well, not publication, but like moving forward before we are happy with it. So if it's okay for everyone, I guess like putting an extra week or so for the review time would make sense.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll discuss this with Michael, and then it shouldn't be a biggie.
Yeah, and I think you can, for example, let the current last call run, and at least maybe if someone else is, so if someone else has the chance to do the review before, then Bart will have comments he can start applying already, which makes a lot of sense. So, and then you get the extra comments soon after the last call ends.
Yes, of course. Great. Do we have more questions on NIPSI, or should we move to the SDF protocol mappings? Oh, let's go on.
Rohit, do you want to take this?
Oh yeah, yes, I'll take this. Lorenzo, can you give me the
Done.
Oh yeah, I have it now. Yeah, so we just published a new version, draft 4, but nothing major really changed in draft 4. We just updated some of the references, like the SDF draft to point to the RFC instead, and I think there were some typo fixes as well. So nothing major that changed in draft 4. Coming to like the next steps, like the pending stuff. I know the slide says no major issues, but we actually do have one issue still open that Jan brought up, and we were thinking if we could discuss that quickly now, because I think that's really the only pending issue for the draft. So the issue that Jan brought up is so today the SDF protocol map the keyword for properties it is at the affordance level, but for actions and events we actually have it in the data level. So it's under the SDF input data or SDF output data. But Jan brought up that it can be simplified to just have it as part of the affordance in all three cases. So it will be part of the SDF property or event or action. We initially didn't do it that way because we were thinking we could have like two different protocol mappings for the input and output. But I mean, now that we think of it, I guess it doesn't really make sense. So we just wanted to know what is the feedback on that. This is missing from the slide because we just realized that later. So we're just wondering what is the opinion from the working group for this.
Yeah, we tried to find examples and where we would have different protocol mappings in input and output, and we couldn't really find any. So if I don't know if somebody thinks there would be a use case for this, but otherwise I think we can.
And I believe it applies only for actions.
Yeah,
Where
that only applies
the SDF
for
actions have
events only have SDF output. So I mean, if we don't really think that this is useful, then we will follow Jan's suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the simplification makes sense, and we can of course later add it on the input-output level if we find such use case, and then do an extension. I think that would work well, and then we simply say that okay, if it's on both, then the one on the input-output overrides. So I think we have a way forward even to fix it. I might have one example in mind. Kind of for in cellular networks, you might send something over SMS and then receive it over IP, but maybe that's quite a corner case. So there are some examples out there where the request and response could, well, not actually request and response, but anyway, could follow different paths. But even that said, I think we'll go for the simple way now and just make sure it's reasonable way to extend later if needed.
Yeah, I also think that's a good way forward. And yeah, thank you for considering the feedback. That's very great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so in core, we have this document which used to be called non-traditional responses. I forget what the current name is. And that actually already provides a mechanism in CoAP to handle responses that go a different path than the requests. So from the NIPSI point of view, this would map to CoAP, and CoAP would then have the feature to actually handle request and response in a different way. And I think that that's slightly cleaner because the protocol actually has the information in hand to do this properly, while at the NIPSI level, we don't know what the protocol needs to do this. So I would expect to handle this at the protocol level. But of course, there may be other cases when that is not the case. I'm just talking about CoAP right now.
So, Carsten, if I understand correctly, doing it only on the affordance level, not on the input-output data, would be the way to go, because the CoAP level can figure it out. The NIPSI level wouldn't even need to know. Perfect.
So I agree that we can add an extension on the data level if we need to. But right now I see the protocol information on the interaction and not on the data. Which is the same thing for properties. So you don't see the difference there, but you do see them in the other two.
Right. So I guess, yeah, that would simplify the CDDL that we have, because I think the SDF, we have extension points at the property, action, and event level. So I guess, yeah, that's like the major change that is pending for the document. Otherwise, the document, I think, is also ready for review.
We'll make these changes quickly, so like we'll have the document ready for last call for the last working group review as well.
Yeah, and I guess this is already part of the implementations you have, or is this still something to be implemented?
Well, we do use a protocol mapping in the SDF output data now, but I mean I think that's relatively easy change. Yeah.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, we just need to move it one step above.
Okay. Thank you, Rohit, and the working group for presentation and inputs. So this concludes the scheduled programs of the agenda. So now, do we have any other business? Something that comes up to mind is, when do we meet next time? Who's going to be in Shenzhen? I know that we do not have a working group meeting. But if someone is there, we can maybe plan something like some private site meeting or so.
I'm not there, so.
Okay. Karsten?
Yeah, I was thinking if we set ourselves a deadline about a week after the current end of the working group last call, that would be in the week right before Shenzhen. So some of us will be traveling at the end of that week. But I could imagine that maybe we should meet on the 11th, March 11th, for an interim meeting. So interim meetings right before or after IETFs have been viewed dimly for a while, but I think with our relatively regular schedule for doing these meetings, I don't think we fall under that.
Right, and I can also add some, notes saying that, hey, we have a working group last call and we want to, reconvene just after it. So that makes sense.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So you are suggesting March 11th. Let me see. Anyone has problems, or I mean, we don't have much leeway, I guess, because people.
I don't know how many people are already traveling on the 12th. I'm not sure that anybody actually goes to Shenzhen.
I am going and traveling on 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be still packed on that day, so I would actually maybe prefer after the IETF. But I would probably still join.
Okay. So maybe I can have it as I can request it, and then in case we can also cancel it and move it after the IETF.
Yeah, actually, this time slot could work, but at 10 o'clock Finnish time, there's some hard.
Okay, but this is gonna be 9 Finnish time, right?
Yep,
so
exactly.
that
So if we do it, yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can squeeze it in probably. Okay. Anyone else?
Sorry, when you said this time, did you mean Thursday?
No, I mean this time of the day.
So Wednesday the 11th at 8 a.m. Central European Time.
Correct. Yoon Jong?
It's a, I'll be in Geneva in March 13, from March 3rd to March 2nd to March 13. So I'm not
Okay,
sure I
so you're
can do the
traveling.
online meeting.
Okay, so you don't make it on March 11.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I see. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah,
Yeah, so
And
maybe we should actually schedule one of our side meetings before you go to Geneva. Would that work for you? The small meetings we had between Jan and I and you.
I'm okay about March, third week of March.
Well, maybe you should tell us a bit more about your availability. You can do this offline. Because we also have to synchronize with Jan.
I'll check our schedule with Jongha.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Wednesday 11 it is for the ASDF
Yes.
interim, and
Yes,
that will be
but,
very focused on NIPSI, I think.
yeah, absolutely. NIPSI and SDF protocol mappings. Yeah. Any other business?
Congratulations on SF main document being published.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, authors.
Thank you.
Okay, but then if there's no more other business, we can close it earlier, and we meet again on March 11th. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you then.
Bye.